Hey guys, welcome to the Max Voltage Mining and Crypto YouTube channel. I am Max Voltage, and today I got something special for you. I did an interview with Daniel Keller of Flux over the weekend on Saturday night to be specific, and I'm going to be rolling out a number of excerpts during this week when we have talked about different topics regarding Flux. So the first one is about Flux nodes, and so without further ado, here we go.
All right, Max, this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna let Max rifle off all the hard questions because Daniel loves hard questions. So he's gonna be the guy. He's got a whole list. So I just work here at this point. Max, have at
it. we'll start with some of the highlights of things going on. The first one is Project Titan. Can you tell us what that is and a little bit about it?
Titan's a big deal, man. So Titan is our shared nodes. So we really, if you don't know anything about Flux, decentralized compute network, we have 3 tiers of nodes. These are our enterprise level nodes. And as we were kind of deploying these, we had people that really wanted to be able to participate with the network, but maybe they didn't have the knowledge or the acumen to do it. So the natural way that it has been done in the past is like these centralized exchanges, they throw out these staking models, right? So put your Flux on exchange and then you can stake it and you get a return, but there's a huge surface area there for issues, right? Not your keys, not your crypto. So if you're like Coinbase and you're sitting on 60% of all ETH after they move to proof of stake and they're the ones running all the nodes, it's completely centralized. So it's kind of scared the shit out of me because as we started deploying on some of these larger exchanges like Binance and these other ones, the first question immediately as you do that is they want to start staking. They want to get people to deposit their Flux there. They want to make sure that that they're getting the juice on it, right? So that concerned me, and I pulled the team together and I said, look, we don't want another Ethereum here. If we ended up getting added to, let's say, KuCoin or Binance staking or something like that, we're pulling a big portion of the Flux out of the people's hands and putting it into the exchange's hands. So if you guys have been around long enough, you remember master nodes, right? The whole master node craze, the shit. Mm-hmm. Well, part of that was they had these things called shared master nodes, which I call absolute fest, right? Because you had to trust one guy, somebody in their basement, and I'm in the basement right now, but somebody in their basement chilling, and they had to be your network administrator, and you had to give them your crypto, and he stood up the node or she stood up the node, and you hope like hell that they didn't get hacked and lose all your money. So we saw a whole rash of these shared node services just go belly up because not your keys, not your crypto. So, but what we found is we could take a part of that, and that is the shared node. And if we could deploy that on chain and make it so that people could hold their own crypto and participate in these nodes, it would reduce the barrier of entry for people just to be able to run. And that's exactly what Titan does. So Titan really does 2 things. That's one thing. The other thing is it gives us the opportunity to start working with enterprise-based infrastructure. Big people in Web 2 that want to deploy in a Web 3 environment as well. It'll also bring Kubernetes, which right now we're Docker or Docker House, but we're going to have Kube as well. And Titan kind of helped pull all this together. So yeah, that's a little bit about Titan.
Interesting. Yeah, we were just talking about this prior to the call that being able to take something on AWS that's running on Kubernetes, being able to port it over is going to be, the next step, one of the next steps for you guys, right?
Yep. Yeah, we want to make it seamless. So Jetpack 2.0 is going to be coming out, and really, honestly, that gives you every single tool to deploy it very simplistically. And whether you're deploying in a Docker environment or a Kubernetes environment, and IPFS will be that's kind of a teaser or a leak. Leaky Dan. We're already running IPFS in beta, so that should be coming real soon. So our persistent storage piece as well. So our goal is really we're not looking to replace AWS. We're looking to offer a secondary solution. So, you had Web 1, which was on-prem hardware. And then along comes cloud, right? And everybody's like, well, what the hell is this cloud? Like, where's my data at? Where's this at?
Yeah, I lost all my control, right?
Yeah, I don't like any of this. But gradually you started to see that on-prem migrate over to, the cloud-based infrastructure. But on-prem didn't go away. It just helped, a cloud helped to augment both of them. And Web3 is going to do the exact same thing. So say you have a Web2 based company that is already comfortable with their infrastructure, but they know they want to get to a Web3 platform as well. So they can work both in Web 2 and Web 3 and have the redundancy between those two different platforms. And really, honestly, it gives you the best of all three worlds. So whether you're running on-prem, whether you're running Web 2 cloud-based infrastructure, or whether you're running a decentralized cloud on Web 3. And really, that's what Flux is. We want to compare and contrast. We want to be the yin to the yang of cloud networking.
Makes sense. Well, I think you kind of started to refer to it. I don't know what IPFS is, but the way you refer to it is storage. So I'm wondering, is that basically Project Thunder?
It will be part of Project Thunder. So our storage nodes are literally, we have to turn them on. We're really waiting for our persistent storage piece to be deployed, which is currently in beta. So we're hoping within the next few weeks to get that out. Well, it's actually, like, let's say it's an alpha, right? If the devs were here, they'd all yell at me. They'd be like, it's not beta, it's alpha, Dan. Okay.
Right.
It's alpha, and we will go to beta, right? And then we'll eventually have a beta release as well for, early adopters that want to check it out. So, yeah.
And actually, those people that have Flux nodes, you actually have access to it. You could actually download stuff to your own node via the Flux OS, right?
Yep. So one of the things you can do right now is you can use FluxShare, which is basically Dropbox on the Flux network. So you can, matter of fact, the majority of my files I started storing on my FluxShare. So, you can do that. And as we get further along with the security piece, so we harden our Dockers, we start working with Kube, we start really looking at these security pieces, which we're doing right now. We're in the process of doing right now So we did Titan first, and then Titan was being developed in tandem with Jetpack 2.0 and persistent storage. So all these things are kind of happening all at the same time. So it's a lot to take in.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things some people had commented on, which was, Project Thunder, the storage piece is, what are you guys doing? Are you guys concentrating on the security piece of it, making sure that whatever data is stored? Yeah. So, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, it's like everything else. This is disruptive iterative technology, right? So if we had all of the pieces already done, it wouldn't be iterative technology. It wouldn't be disruptive technology. It'd be cloud 2, right? Or Web 2, right? But long story short is, obviously security is always number one. We have a really good security team, and we could probably have moved a lot faster with some of these pieces, but two things really come into play: the security of the platform and also the decentralization. So we look at every component that we develop on this platform, and we make sure that it airs to the decentralized side. Now, are there centralized components? Of course there are, because we had to build everything to make this function. But we always plan the next iteration to be a little more decentralized than the last, a little bit more decentralized than the last, and we keep working toward that end goal where you don't need Dan. It just does its thing. You don't need the dev team. They build things. We have other people building on the projects, businesses launching on the project, and everything's right with the world.
Cool. Sorry, going back to the Titan, is there going to be an opportunity for other node operators to actually deploy a Titan node? There are
hell yes.
Okay. How is that going to be determined as to who can deploy Titan?
So like everything else, we try to take things very slowly. So it's like running with scissors, right? That's kind of what we're doing. We want to bring people in that we trust, people that are in the community, to really help us find all the, issues or vulnerabilities or whatever. So to apply for it, you'll be able to apply for it. And if you're accepted, we already have about 5 or 6 people that are already kind of in queue. But the ultimate goal is to get as many as we can from the community as well to be able to run these, So I mean, it's good for decentralization and it's good for the project. So and I think we have I call them decentralized systems administrators, because really that's what they are. All of our node operators are decentralized systems administrators, and that's what they do. And so it makes sense to get it in their hands.
Now, I already know the answer to this question, but I know other people have asked me this question. Will there be a possibility of running a Titan node and being able to identify, hey, I've got a community of people that would like to run a node together. One person runs it, the other people can apply to go to just that node.
It's not in the pipeline, but you're not the first person that asked.
Yeah, I know. I've heard it asked before.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it would be fun to run it with your buddies, no doubt about it. And I think at some point in time we'll do that. It's randomized right now, as whoever locks and sends it to the signature, signs the signature, that's who's in. But I could see a time where go back to those shared master nodes again. That was kind of fun too, back in the day, because if you had a bunch of tight knit people that were really trusted each other, you had a lot of fun running these nodes. So if we can do it, and we can do it safely, and we can do it effectively, and we can do it so that it doesn't err on the side of centralization, I'd say then yes, somewhere down the road, a year from now or something, you could see it.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, because we were talking with people in the community that have been around a lot longer than I have. They talk about the way it was back in the day. They would have their own pools and all that kind of stuff, and it sounds like it was a lot of fun. And when you started talking about the master nodes of, well, yes, that's true, it's really fun, but it's all on one master node, and that person controls all the crypto. In this case, with the Titan node, everybody still owns their own crypto, so you have that security piece. So if there's a falling out, between people, you still own your crypto at that point. So it's like a lot of safety.
Isn't that like everything with blockchain? It's so fun until it's not, right?
Right, exactly.
Terra Luna was so much fun till it wasn't. You know what I mean? And then it was a shit show. So it's same with master nodes, same with ICOs, same with all the other pieces. You know what I mean? Like Flux does this thing where they look at projects kind of where they failed, and we pull out the 1% of the technology that makes sense, and we work on building that and integrating it into the platform. Because we're agnostic. We don't give a shit what chain you're running. If you want to participate in the Flux ecosystem, we're going to let you participate in the Flux ecosystem. That's the nice thing about it. So, and really that helps push the interchain operatability across the board, because, if we get out of this tribalism, of like my bag is the best, or your bag, your project sucks and I do this better. If we stop being tribalistic and we start working together as a community, a blockchain community, interchain operability will start to become a real deal. It's already becoming a real deal with Flux. And we can start to work together to really advance this thing much quicker than we are now, because it's not about creating a fork of a fork of a fork of a fork, or creating, a proof of stake project that looks exactly like every other proof of stake projects out there. So if we start working together as a community, we can really start getting some really cool shit done.
So, when you said that, so I can see what your portfolio looks like. You probably have some Shiba Inu, some Baby Doge.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and that's what I always, that's what I tell the community all the time. I said, when this bear market came on, I think everybody was still pretty frothy, FOMO-y. They were upbeat, and I was like, guys, the pain is coming, and when it comes, it's gonna hurt. But if you're invested in projects you believe in, that are doing something to change something, fix a problem, really, and you believe in the team that's behind it, and you believe in the community that's behind it, then you have nothing to worry about. Close your portfolio and come back in 6 months, and you'll be in good shape. So, and that's kind of been our mantra all along. We've lived through multiple bear markets, and
yeah, absolutely. I believe in things that are real, that actually have some type of function, service, do something, as opposed to just looking pretty, or having a cool name and all that kind of stuff. So completely in agreement with that. Since we're still on the node subject, benchmark 3.3, I just saw a post on that. Can you talk a little bit about what that's going to bring to things, and how things may be changing a bit for node owners that may be skirting the the benchmarks?
We're about to piss a lot of people off, is the easy way to say it. I mean, it's just what it is. What it is. You know, we've been very transparent about the fact that we need everyone to meet the benchmark criteria. These are enterprise level servers. These aren't, you know, one-click deployment bullshit API nodes. These are real deals. These are heavy hitters. If you're a node operator, you have created a business, right? And you want to protect that business. And the individuals who are out there hustling to build more nodes, to build more infrastructure and playing by the rules, they're the ones that need to be rewarded. So, you know, I love the node count. It's up there, 12,000 plus nodes. I love it. But there are nodes on there that shouldn't be, and we're going to take care of that. So it sucks. And all I can say to that is that's why Titan is here.
Right.
Right. So, you know, it's not like we're leaving you out in the cold where we're like, here, you know, you build a node, now you're you're out, now you're bagged in. Deployed on Titan. You know what I mean? And I will say this, we're always evaluating those benchmarks. And as the network continues to grow, I mean, we just released geolocation, which was a big freaking deal. You know, we'll evaluate those as we go. But, you know, we need to make sure that we're supporting the applications that are deployed. And by the way, if you're looking to court somebody from like the standard tech stack and technology, to start deploying on your platform, you better have exactly what you promised them, right? Yep. So, and that's exactly what we're trying to do is keep everyone in line, make sure that everyone's meeting the criteria of the network. And if you do that, you're golden.
I hope you guys enjoyed that segment from the interview with Daniel Keller. As I mentioned before, we'll be having a few more this week, so keep a lookout on the channel. If you enjoyed that, please hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.